Basement Systems is proud to sponsor Cooking Up a Storm.
Welcome back to the morning show. We have another Cooking Up a Storm segment with Jacob Dickey. It smells amazing.
Yeah, we've just gotten started here. Adam's over here wafting in the smell. I just had some potatoes that I put in the oven, and we'll talk about that in a second here. This recipe, though, is one that I think, Mitchell was just talking about back to school.
Ooh.
Folks are busy at home, right? If you're at home and you've got kids and like, oh man, I gotta make breakfast every morning and this is really complicated, or maybe you've got, your spouse is out the door for work. This is a recipe that is going to be one you can meal prep with. You can do one at the beginning of the week and have enough for the rest of the week for them, hopefully, as long as they're not hungry eaters like maybe I am growing up. But anyways, this is Sheet Pan Denver Omelettes. Yes, we're gonna make an omelet, Taylor, in a sheet pan, which is really fun here. Last month we had so much fun with Breakfast Month.
Oh, okay.
This month is sheet pan month, so we're kind of blurring the lines here with that.
Blurring it.
So to get started, what I did is I have a sheet pan here, a large sheet pan here. Mine is, I think it's 17 by 12, and you have to have that 1-inch lip on these with these sheet pans. That way on the edge, when you pour in your egg, it doesn't spill over. I prepped ahead of time here some potatoes, and I tossed them in some of my favorite seasoning. I love putting potatoes with paprika and garlic and salt, and I tossed them in some oil and put them in the pan and stuck them in the oven. They've been in there for about 20 minutes to get soft. Potatoes can be hard. You don't want those potatoes to be, crunchy when you're biting into that, so we cook it ahead of time to help heat it up and get it a better flavor for that. So that's the starting point here. I pulled it out like a minute and a half ago. Before you walked in, it was still sizzling just a little bit, but we're ready to make the rest of our omelet on there. There's plenty of oil in the pan, and so we can add in our other ingredients. Let's talk about some of those. A Denver omelet isn't a Denver omelet without onions, peppers, and ham here. So I've got some green pepper. These are actually from my garden. The way you can use some garden produce there. We're just going to sprinkle this in the pan and let it sit in there. And I'm going to put a little more in here. I got plenty of that. You'll find it varies based on how much you want. And the best part about an omelet is you can pick and choose how much you want as well. How about a little bit of onion in here? And we'll just sprinkle some of that.
Looks like this can feed a lot of people.
Yeah, this is. I mean, you think of it, in my house, it'd feed me and my brothers in one day. But, it's that type of thing. Let's get some ham in there. And I love ham in my omelets. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
But we'll put some of that in there. And have this pan ready to go. What do you think, Adam? Is that enough meat there?
It's, you know what? It could always use more.
It could. I'm actually going to save a little bit of that meat for the next step here coming up. And then I actually have a couple of other things. I have some Marconi peppers. These here are actually some produce from my garden. So these are our Marconi peppers that I picked a few days ago. And I sliced some of them up. And I'm going to add some of those because I love using my garden produce in there. If you've got garden produce, use whatever you have and whatever you want there. You can also make these omelets your own way. If you want to do sweet potatoes, by all means, go with that. You can use different types of jalapenos or spicy peppers. Not a big fan of heat myself. I'm going to add a little green onion as well here. And
I love green onion. That's one of my favorites.
It's such a good flavor that's in there. So we've got our onions, peppers, ham, and whatnot in there. The next thing is I've actually whipped up some egg in here. I did a dozen eggs with about 2 cups of cream and milk mixture. You can pick what you want in there. And then I added a little bit of dry mustard, some garlic, and a little salt and pepper. And this is a nice mixture that's going to go right on top there once I've mixed that. We're just going to pour it straight into the pan. Look how easy this is.
So easy.
Go slow because you want to spread it out, not wash away like a big flood all your toppings. But when you put that in there, it's going to go straight into the oven and be ready to go. And you can cut these apart when you come, start of the week. Early mornings, right, Adam and Taylor? You could make this on Sunday and have a healthy, ready-to-go breakfast right out of the door. And that is the sheet pan omelet that is ready there. This is going to be the fun part. I'm going to try and not spill. Adam, would you mind opening that door for me? We're going to stick it in the oven for, already getting a little nervous here. You're going to stick this in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes until it is you stick a fork in there and it is clear. Ooh, wow, I didn't spill. I had nightmares last night. I was going to spill. There it is. Thank you. That's going to go in the oven at 375. You can do a little lighter if you need to. And you're going to do that for about 25, 30 minutes until when you stick a knife or a fork in there, it comes out clean. That means it's cooked. And that's what we're going to wait on. When we come back, we're going to have some fresh Denver omelet in a sheet pan of all things that you can meal prep at home.
Awesome. Well, we're so excited. Thank you so much. Yeah. We'll talk to you soon. Well, still to come on the morning show, Adam's going to have a look at your forecast up next. Stick with Well, coming up on the morning show, Adam has a look at your forecast up next. But first, let's check in with Jacob. Jacob, how are things looking? It smells so good in here.
Yeah, I'm pulling the eggs out here, and one thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of cheese to them here. You can see my egg has come up a little bit. It's not spilling over the edge, which makes this great. So maybe 10 minutes before you're ready to serve here, put a little bit of cheese on top so you get that ooey, gooey deliciousness. Coming up soon, Taylor, we're going to have breakfast ready for you. Denver omelets in the sheet pan. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
Woods Basement Systems is proud to sponsor Cooking Up a Storm.
All right, welcome back to the morning show. We're continuing our Cooking Up a Storm segment with Jacob. It looks fabulous.
Yeah, we just pulled it out. We're finished with the cooking part. We're getting close to the eating part here, which is probably our favorite part, right? So this is, again, a sheet pan Denver omelet. I already got a question. How did you keep the egg in the pan here on your cookie sheet? I want to clarify, this is not a cookie sheet. This is a pan that has a 1-inch lip on the edge, and that lip allows the egg to sit in there. You can remember how delicately I was carrying that to the oven, trying not to spill it there. If you have a pan with a little bit deeper sides, that may help, but you may struggle to get in there and cut. This is perfect because I can cut this ready to go as it came out of the oven just a few minutes ago. And look at all the toppings in there. Zoom in on this so you can get a peek at that there.
So colorful.
Yeah, it's colorful. It's got the ham, the onion. I've got some of my Marconi peppers from the garden. There's some green peppers in there. Of course, the cheese on top. You can use whatever toppings you want. You do not have to follow my recipe. You want to put mushrooms in there. You want to put in some tomato, some garlic. You want to put in your favorite omelet toppings and customize this to make your own. Just follow the recipe with the ingredients, size portions and whatnot. And that egg mixture as well. I used 12 eggs, a cup of milk, and heavy cream, and then we added in some seasonings to that. I seasoned my potatoes. You can switch out the potato type, whatever you want. And this is the recipe for the Denver omelet that you see there. It smells so good. I'm sitting here just like, I think of Mr. Food.
Are you hungry?
Do you remember Mr. Food?
Ooh,
Mr. Food.
So good. That's what I'm hoping comes from this here. Now, the best part is I've let this sit for about 5 minutes so I can start cutting into it. And when I cut into it here, you can cut it into strips and chunks and whatnot and freeze it, stick it in the fridge for a few days, whatever you want there, and then just heat it up when you're ready to go in the morning. So let's cut a little square for you, Taylor.
Looks like a pizza.
It kind of does, doesn't it? Like a little square pizza in there. And Adam's got a plate over there. My edges will get a little sticky, but that's why I use plenty of oil on there. And there you go. You got a fork in front of you. And I'm going to pick one from the cheese side here because I'm a fan of cheese. Cheese is my 6th food group. Adam probably agrees with that. And we'll cut some for you aside, Adam, too, for later. And leave some for you. But there we go. You want me to cut you one now?
Sure.
Okay, he's going to take one now.
I just want to see how, it's a work of art watching Nick.
That's true. That's true. So we'll cut that there. And think about the potato, the oil there, how it's coming fairly clean off the pan. How many of these little squares can you have? And make out of this pan, how much breakfast to go do you have ready to roll here, right?
Gosh, for me this would last.
It's simple and easy, and it's just going to help out a lot with things there. So we're going to take a bite and try it here. Adam's going to save his for later.
For later.
Right. What do you think, Adam? What's it look like to you? You can smell it.
It looks so good. Like
oh, my word. Wow.
How easy it is. It tastes exactly like an omelet.
Okay, I have to say, your vegetables are so good.
I've been pretty lucky with the garden this year.
You
Growing some of my
have.
macaronis and my bell peppers in there. Didn't grow the onions. I'm not going to try onions. Those are too cheap at the store to get. But you got garden produce. I'm thinking the next time what I want to do is I'm going to start meal prepping with this for a quick, healthy meal with lots of protein out the door. That I'm not eating sugary stuff. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and figure out like mushrooms and tomatoes and some garlic and maybe make it a Mediterranean style. And I was thinking too, instead of ham, you could use cooked sausage or bacon, things like that in there. Whatever you like on your omelet. This is what you can do. What are your favorite omelet toppings?
You know, I like having mushrooms. I do like ham. Sometimes throwing a little bit of bacon bits in there.
Bacon bits.
Chicken. Chicken's pretty good. Gyros. I like gyro meat too.
Really?
Yes.
There's an idea for that.
So good.
Adam's gonna put in a special order for me here, I think, right?
That's gonna happen.
Yeah, he's here all the time so early, and he's gonna be like, I want some of this.
Hey, on your way in, by the way.
On your way in, can you throw something together for me and put that there?
Thanks.
So we're going to put this recipe and all this stuff like that on my Facebook page here shortly. I'm working on getting the article up so you can have this recipe. But it's a really simple, easy way for you at home to have meal for the kids. You can have meal for the whole family, and you can meal prep the whole week. This is going to be pretty filling for me. Imagine how much we have left.
Exactly, and I think for me, I would put some hot sauce on top of it.
Oh, yeah, hot sauce.
Yummy. It's,
lots of ways.
You can do whatever you want. That's what's so awesome. And again, like you said, kids are back to school.
Yeah.
And it's just an easy, quick little recipe.
And what does Mr. Food say?
Ooh, so good.
That's right.
All right, thank you so much, Jacob. Well, your morning rush headlines are coming up. What you need to know before the end of the show.